What's going on, YouTube? Aaron here. I have got a lot to cover in this video, and hopefully you were tricked by the clickbait title, but it's partially clickbait. Obviously, as you can see, there's hey Crispy, what's going on, brother? As you can see, there is no carriers yet in the game, but they were announced, obviously confirmed, and the test event was actually released for sign up this morning. So I can go ahead and mention that briefly. So for those of you that do not know, there is a link. I believe it's on the Facebook page. I'm going to try and link it below. I don't think you have to have Facebook though, because before any of this, I didn't have Facebook, and you know, I commend those who don't have it. But it's a sign up, and basically, because carriers are going to be the second round of the Udachi Apocalypse, there's going to be a sign-up form, which I think is a good idea. I don't want 30 carriers on one map or the queue times to be, 80 minutes. But we went ahead and popped into Udachi today to go back over some carrier, not some carrier basics, but some basics, or my thoughts and opinions on what is going to happen during this next update. So the test event. From what I can gather, now again, I don't know anything beyond what they've released to you guys. I get the patch notes in a couple days, and I'm going to try and do a video on those, but Spartan and T-Bull usually kill those videos. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm trying to play a decent game and have a good replay and maybe mention some things that are also beneficial to players in the game while this is going on. But yes, I will link that test event below. Try to sign up as early as possible, but just know that you're not going to be playing aircraft carriers. My guess is you're going to be, if I had to work it, it would be like some sort of token system or something like that, similar to Yamato, where you can play, like a carrier, and then you got to play a few games to work it up. You're good? Oh, yeah, no, it's alright. You can keep chatting. I try to interact with chat in some of these videos. But that is the first announcement. The second announcement for my clickbait-ish title is that I'm going to hold off judgment, despite what the clickbait title said about carriers for the time being. Nobody knows how they're going to play out. They could be incredibly underpowered. And if they are, all these people, myself included, who are a little hesitant or adamantly against carriers are going to look rather foolish. Now, that being said, I don't think that's going to be the case, and I think a lot of players, especially destroyer players, are going to have a huge wake-up call. Myself included, because I tend to rely on Japanese concealment too much. Like, I maybe shouldn't have pushed there. Now, my team did a good job of getting shots on target there for a broadside cruiser, and we did a good job of hitting the destroyer to cap, so he should have been dead, but he should be really low. Never sit in smokescreen for more than 60 seconds, or keep moving, or have sonar or something running. That's the only way you should be sitting in smoke. But again, the reason I chose the Udachi is because I feel like the Udachi was one of those ships that everyone just kind of jumped in and was immediately good at, and the only reason they're good at it is because it was slightly overpowered. And some people will say more than slightly. Incredibly overpowered. But that is up for debate. And the eye is in the judgment is really is in the holder per se. Because some people are good in the Udachi, some people are not. It's one of those ships where it's just it was not a fun update, if that makes sense. And the reason for that is oh shit, destroyers kind of run unchecked, and what I mean by that is there's no counter for destroyers at the moment. As I'm gonna die here, but that's okay. The point of this gameplay is not the video. It's the well, we got him. The point of this gameplay is oh no, come on. It's not the video, it's as I'd smack people with torpedoes. It's not the video, it's simply just my thoughts and opinions. Hey guys, what's going on, boats? Radar cruisers are the counter, yes, boats, but in a game like this, there are no radar cruisers, and in lower tiers, in Tier 5, for example, and like in Tier 4, there's no radar cruisers. So, you are correct, and I shouldn't have gotten out of the cab. I'm trying to talk and narrate the game here. I went out. You are correct in saying that radar cruisers are the counter, but radar cruisers have to get close to the destroyer, obviously, and sacrifice their ship. And while I think that is rather unbalanced, and Potato Quality had an excellent video explaining all of this, aircraft carriers don't have to sacrifice their ship's health in order to do half of the stuff that other ships do. Now, like I said, I'm going to hold off judgment. So for everyone that like instantly clicked on the video is down in the comments now just gremlining like, oh dude, he clickbaited it. He said carriers are going to ruin the game. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I'm going to get some good clickbait in here. You got clickbaited. I'm going to try and remain neutral for the time being, because while I honestly, in my honest opinion, I do not want them to come into the game because I think it's rather balanced. I'm going to hold judgment off. You know, if it's good for the game, then heck yeah, because destroyers right now are definitely the most OP unbalanced class, and I honestly think the game is rather balanced despite having said what I just said. You know, if you sail in a straight line for more than 8 minutes, you know, expect to get torpedoed. It's not rocket science. You know, if the cap is being contested and there's a destroyer in Bravo right now, we see a smoke screen. So, you know, like sailing straight into that with the health that I have, I would just be an idiot. Ouch. How about carrier commanders? I don't know anything crappy as of yet. What I do know is there is the test event, which is part of the reason I made this video. So, hey Jacob, how you doing this morning? And that was my point to get across, as well as getting a decent Udachi gameplay, and I think we've done that so far. Not the most damage, but just emphasizing why carriers may be needed. You know, to counter my own point, if there was a carrier here, he could have, or in the game, he could have came over and spotted me before I got those torpedoes off. What is it, a Fletcher? So I'm just imploring everyone who watches my videos to keep an open mind. I've been rather negative about things before, and honestly, I will probably continue to not be the biggest carrier, you know, like, oh my god, carriers! You know, so, like half the people on the Instagram pages. But I'm not gonna be real happy if they're not balanced at all. I'm gonna be the first one in the forums. Like, if it just completely changes the game and everyone's, you know, the queue time's 40 minutes for carrier games, I'm also not gonna be happy. So, you know, just keep an open mind is basically what I'm trying to say. But also, this is part 2 of this video, is there's going to be a huge, an even bigger skill gap in destroyer play right now, and that's going to occur because destroyer players, in my opinion, a lot of them have no clue. There's some really good destroyer players out there, and I've played against them, and compared to them, I'm not too good. For example, you know, I let a Jervis sneak up on me. Now, he didn't have Hydro, so, you know, I got kind of lucky in that sense, but I also torped him, torped another destroyer in smoke, and got a few torp hits while getting the capture point. So I more than did my job, and even if I would have died there, our team still had a pretty decent advantage. And what I think that's going to do to the game is something I also don't like. But it's going to keep destroyer players not doing their job correctly and not supporting their team in check. And that could be a good balance to the game. So, again, we're keeping an open mind here. There's no place for toxicity, and I'm actually going to do a video on being very negative, and I definitely am guilty of that. I get frustrated myself, but getting negative and criticizing yourself, or maybe criticizing your team, even, you know, just like, hey, bro, you know, like, maybe you should have got the cap. There have been some games. I remember one vividly. I was in my Alabama, and I was taking on, like, 2 or 3 ships, and there was a destroyer, a friendly destroyer in the enemy base who was capturing the base. And he sailed out of it to go shoot at multiple battleships. Lost us the game. I think I had like 2,300 XP in my Alabama on the losing team, and that was before I even I even really concerned myself with like that was just kind of I was playing the game without any real strategy, and I was still decent at it. You know, like even then you can understand that losing the game at that point is like, come on, dude. So that's the game. Let's check the scoreboard real quick. Again, this gameplay is definitely not important. I just wanted to get this video out here. We'll see how it turns. I mean, it's very funny. Even blabbering on like I do, still get a pretty good placement there. And you know, it's nothing else needs to be said about that. But let's go ahead and wrap up my final talking points here. Destroyer players are going to have a huge awakening. Cruisers are going to have a huge awakening in terms of their AA is going to be essential for destroyers to survive. And battleship players are also going to have a huge awakening, because those who sit in the back are going to get focused. You know, you definitely don't need to be pushing up too aggressively in a battleship, but sitting in the back is never the way to play. Like I've said multiple times, you provide no additional crossfires, you provide no additional spots if your ship needs to, you know, your friendly needs to smoke up in the meantime or something like that. One of my clanmates he always pushes in his battleship, and he's one of the best in the game. Not the best, but one of the best. And he's always looking for crossfires and things like. He's just a great player. So I'm trying to get some maybe videos with him and, you know, peek at him to see what he's doing. Me and a cruiser and him in a battleship, we don't lose too many games. So I hope that video was not too much of clickbait for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to get into a destroyer to maybe give a heads up to destroyer players that life is going to be different. Days of running completely unchecked, like, you know, I remember this one video when somebody got the Shima right off the bat. He ran like to the very, very left of Sea of Fortune on the A side. Like, it was like he completely ignored the cap. He completely ignored any spotting. And he posted the replay because he got like 5 or 6 torpedo hits. I'm like, that's not a good play. You know, and carriers are going to keep that in check. Good carrier players are going to hunt destroyers. Because destroyers are the key to victory. They have low concealment, deadly torpedoes for the most part. Obviously, some gunboats, you know, don't have, you know, Tashkent and things like that. Still have torpedoes, but not, you know, maybe not the best. As well as, you know, the ability to just go stealth and run away. There are very few ships that are faster than you. Maybe the Amalfi and some other cruisers, depending on what nation, etc. But yes, that is the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. So go to that sign up. I'm going to try and post this video as soon as possible. I'm just recording this now. This is my first game of the day. I wanted to just get on and get a video out there. So, you know, it was a good one. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope the clickbait didn't aggravate you too much. You know, I just do that for the views, try and get some more people to check out the channel. Some people don't like me because I preach a lot of the truth. As I always say, there's more than one way to play the game. So if you don't agree, you know, we don't have to be on the same page. But the proof is in the pudding for most of what I do in terms of victories and top placements and things like that. There's definitely some other channels with, you know, information as well. So feel free to check out all the CCs, guys. But I hope everyone has a great day. I'm gonna sign off here. Hope that was informative. We'll be clickbaiting CVs for sure when we get them. Everyone, have a great one. I'm out. Peace.